Okay, so first part of a midterm review for algebra is talking about chapter 3, which was doing the absolute value equations and inequalities. Okay, so when we're doing this, right, it will say solve and graph. So you're going to get 2 points for a question like this. So we got to solve it and graph it. So absolute value of x minus 13 equal 2. Who remembers how I solve it? Go, Anna. I do. I have to separate them. So I'm going to solve x minus 13 equal 2. What's the other thing I'm going to solve? That's right. X minus 13 equal negative 2 is the other thing I'm going to solve. And so there's an equal sign here. Super important to notice the difference because it's going to change how we graph it. Okay, so I'm going to add 13 to both sides. And the first answer is x equal 15. I'm going to add 13 to both sides on the other one. And I'm going to get x equal 11. So those are your 2 answers. In this case, because it is equal, it doesn't matter if you write and or, because on the graph, you actually don't even have to write anything. You can just circle these 2. And then when you graph it, because it's an equal sign, right? Here's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 11 gets a circle around it. It's filled in, and so does 15. But is there any arrows that we're worrying about? No. When it's equal, that's the graph, which is why there's no points for writing and or putting it back together on the equal sign one. So be aware of that because that's on there. But so is this, where you have the inequality. That's where writing and or is essential. And you got to make sure that you either connect your graph or the arrows are pointing out. So let's do this one. All right, so solve and graph the absolute value of 6x plus 9 is less than or equal to 9. So you still split this one, okay? So you're going to split it so that 6x plus 9 is less than or equal to positive 9. What's the other one, though, when I split it? There's one special thing that does happen here that is different. Go ahead, Carla. 6x plus 9 greater than or equal to negative 9. Yeah, you got to flip the inequality when you solve the negative, okay? So that's one difference. Okay, let's solve them. So we're going to subtract 9. Don't panic, right? 6x is less than or equal to 0. I know that instills panic in some of us. All right, divide by 6. 0 does divide 6 here, okay? So x is less than or equal to 0. It does not say error. On this side, if I subtract 9, though, I don't get 0. I get 6x is greater than or equal to negative 18. Then I divide by 6, and I get x is greater than or equal to negative 3. Why did I not have to flip when I divided here? It was already flipped, but like I wasn't dividing by a negative, right? I was dividing by a positive, so I didn't flip it. Now, this is not the answer. You cannot just circle these. You need to either write and or put it back together, right? So the way you figure it out is you either put them in order and see if the arrows match, or you graph it. Now, in this case, it says we have to graph it anyway, so we might as well do that. All right. So here we go. Oops, it just did it, didn't it? Yeah. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't do it again. I didn't even step on anything. Okay. So we need to have 0 on there. And we for sure need negative 3. So I'm going to go and make sure I have those. And I'll just put a 1 in there too. All right, so x is less than or equal to 0. So open or close circle? Close circle. And what direction should the arrow point? Left or right? Left. For this one, it points left. And I'm not going to do an arrow just yet because I want to do this one. X is greater than or equal to -3. Open or closed? Closed. What direction does this one point? So do they connect? They do. Which means that that's an and. Technically, to be totally correct, without writing the word and, right, we would put it together. Here's how we do it, right? Use your graph. Your lower limit on here, look at the graph, is -3. Your upper limit is 0. In the middle, you need a variable, okay? And so if you look at this for the -3, the alligator is eating the x, so it's got to eat the x on our answer. And for the 0, the alligator is eating the 0. This is your answer. The other option is to circle those two and write the word and. However, this is the better answer, right? This is the answer that you're going to see on the SAT, the PSAT, NWEA. You're not going to see the word and if you can put it back together. Okay. Next, let's go. So that is just a little snippet of the inequality section and the absolute value. Now, here's the thing. There's not a bunch of different questions for each thing. There's too much material. So there might be only 1 or 2 of these. And then it moves on to other stuff. Okay, super important. This says simplify, not solve. Okay? Simplify confuses kids because you want to get an answer of x equal a number, right? You cannot do that if there's no equal sign or inequality, right? There is no equal or inequality. So simplify means make this guy shorter, as short as you can get it. So add like terms and do what you can. So if you have parentheses, you got to distribute first. 5 times 3x is 15x. Do not forget this part. 5 times 2, you got to do the second part, is positive 10. This part, just bring it down. Minus 4x plus 7. Is this as small as you can get this? Okay, what can go together? 15x and negative 4x can go together, right? To give me 11x. Can 10 and 7 go together? Yes. Positive 10 and positive 7 go together to give positive 17. This is the answer that we're looking for. Because it says simplify, it just means make it as short as you can get it. Oh man, the sound is probably not going to be good on this. It just keeps flipping out on me. I'm going to try and mess with the HDMI. Hopefully that's better. Okay, so far so good? All right, 2 more for today's review. This one, I feel like there's one like this on the exam. You're going to want this in your notes because once I show you, you'll be like, oh, I got this, okay? There's one that starts with the word if, just like this, and it gives you an equation. 9 times x plus 2 equal -6 times x plus 7. If that, then what is the value of this other equation? Does anyone have an idea what you need to do here? Go, Caitlin.
You solve for x and then substitute it.
Yes, that is exactly what you do. You have to solve for x in this one. Once you get the answer, you substitute it into this one. Okay, so let's do that. To solve for x in the first one, we distribute. 9 times x is 9x. 9 times 2 is positive 18. And then I'm going to write equals. Now I'll do this side. -6 times x is -6x. And -6 times 7 is -42. What do I do next to solve this equation? Yep. Which one do I cancel? Negative 6x. How do I cancel it? Add it. Let's add 6x. All right, and then add it. Make sure you're adding it to the 9x, not the 18, right? Because 18 doesn't have one. So 9x plus 6x is 15x plus 18 equal negative 42. And I should have left more space. I'm sorry I didn't. Then what would I do? Yep, so I'm going to move my stuff up here in a second. If I subtract 18 from both sides, I should get 15x equals negative 60. What's the last step? We got to divide by 15. So we get x equal negative 4, right? Now, Caitlin's exactly right. That's not the answer we're looking for, because now this is a double kind of question. It says, what is the value of this one though, right? So we got to do 8 plus 11, not x now, times what? Negative 4. All right, order of operations though, do you add first or multiply first? What's 11 times negative 4? Negative 44. Now add the 8. Anybody? Go. Boom is our final answer. There is one like it on there. I put one like this on the review paper as well for you to practice, okay? That one I know. I can't help it. I don't know. I need a new cord, I think. Okay, last one, which is on there, and I'm not certain we've done any with this exact wording, so super important that we go over it. And also, again, I put one on the review for you to practice. It says, it will say these words: find 3 consecutive integers whose sum is, and then it'll give you a number. It's not 108, this because I'm doing something different. Okay, what does the word consecutive mean? Not necessarily consistent. If you play, let's say you play a sport and you one after another, right? So consecutive integers would be like 3, 4, and 5, right? One after another. So if you don't know what they are, though, this is what you do. So here's your keyword. Make sure, like if you're doing this for your notes, you want to do this. Keyword is consecutive. Integers means that they got to be whole, like there's no decimals, right? They can be positive or negative. So they don't tell you what they are. So you can start with x as you say that's your first one, right? You don't know what it is. Consecutive means the next one's the one after it. So plus x plus 1, that would be the next one, right? So whatever that number is, the next number is one above that. What's the next one going to be? One above that, which would be x plus what? These are what we would use for consecutive integers, okay? If we don't know what they are, you just give a variable x. The next one would be x plus 1, then x plus 2. What does it say it equals? 108. And how did I know that I should add them? What word gives it away? Sum. Okay, so this is an easy question. Do the parentheses really do anything here? No. Can I put ones in front of those x's? Yeah. So let's add like terms. What's x plus x plus x? 3x. What's 1 plus 2? I can put those together. This is really what you're solving. 3x plus 3 equal 108. Okay, what do? Subtract 3 from both sides. Sorry, I ran out of space again. So you get 3x equal 105. Then what do? Divide by 3. What is 105 divided by 3? What do you get? 35. There you go. Okay, so that is our first page of notes that you might want, okay? I'm not going to force you, but if you have them, you're probably going to be good at. Okay. So today our goal is on the midterm review. So there's 27 questions. Really, it's 28 because there's a B right here. So your goal to be halfway through is to get through the first 14. Okay. If you don't, though, right? We're not taking the midterm until Tuesday, right? You have until Tuesday. Then I'm collecting them. So that's the deal.